Hey guys, it's CL, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I make brand new Critical Role recaps every Monday at noon, and would be happy to have you join the party. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and hit the Bertrand bell to be notified of future videos. Now, without further ado, let's discuss the 78th episode of Campaign 3 of Critical Role. We open as Ashton begins to cool, and the party are in shock and awe at the craziness that's just transpired after Ashton consumed the shard. Everyone is really angry, and rightfully so. Fern goes over and starts to hit the ground with Ashton's hammer, trying to break it. Then she storms off in a huff with the harness when it fails, Chetney going after her. He's actually quite good at talking her down, too. Well, nonchalantly taking the irreplaceable harness from her angry hooves. Ultimately, he wants to know why she followed through with everything. That if she didn't agree, why did she go along with the plan? And all she can say is that she likes Ashton, and she wanted to see him happy. The gnome suggests they go break some windows to blow off some steam instead of breaking the sex harness. I wonder if this is the end of the Fern and Chetney ship. Imogen pulls Laudna aside and asks her if she wants to leave the group. Laudna isn't doing well with this betrayal and wanders off by herself, shifting into her form of dread. That leaves Imogen, Orem, and FCG depressed about what happened with Ashton taking the shard against the plan. Speaking of, how's he doing since basically dying and losing his arm? Apparently, they feel powerful. Around them, they can feel all of the rock and the surrounding mountains breathing, almost. I think someone may have awoken their shard, sort of. The other, however, apparently wasn't meant for them. They begin to feel a burning pain within their chest, and coughing it up like a hairball, the shard returns to the ground in front of them, rejecting Ashton, and permanently reducing their constitution by 2. Ouch. They also apparently saw something when they were absorbing the power. Their parents, and the version of him that grew up with them and had never become who they are now, and they weren't good. I mean, I guess he should have saw that coming. His dad did the same fucking thing that he just did in a search for power. I could imagine being raised by that man probably wouldn't make him the ripest fruit. After breaking some windows with Chet and Gwendolyn, the youngest Derolo, Fern goes to speak with the Raven Queen at her temple. Unsure of how this whole thing is supposed to work, she leaves her postcards that were made by Nanamori as an offering, and she heads back out. Then she sees a one-legged raven and 2 larger ones stare at her after dropping some berries on the ground. Then they fly off. I wonder what that is supposed to mean. I mean, my guess is that the 2 birds were the Titans, and the one with the one leg is Ashton, who needs help awakening their shard, and the berries are maybe the shard that they want Fern to take? I don't know, let me know your thoughts on symbolism. Laudna flees to the Parchwood in an attempt to rid herself of the cravings of her old being. Imogen goes looking for her through the castle but doesn't find her, and the party decide to let the warlock and the druid roam the city to cool off. All Chetney really said to Fern was that she shouldn't leave, and she promised that she wouldn't. So she just spends the night in the wood as well, creating a canopy that reminds her of Nanamori's. There's a cute moment where both of Talison's characters sort of bond, Ashton approaching Percy saying, "Why'd you break all those windows?" And Percy says, "Only you're allowed to push a rose." It was a good conversation, and Matt can pull these metaphors out like Tal does. You should watch it. Chetney does grim psychometry on the restored shard. In flashes of red, it shows him pre-Pantheon elemental-like societies. Life before the gods in a rolling land of flame. He sees flashes of conflict, benevolent frustration in their battle with beings of light and shadow, the gods. And then they're alone, half asleep, frozen and tethered, until the chains are broken, and they're free and reach out to grab the hand of another like them. Then, nothing. They must have been reaching for their mate, maybe. He did see the twin mountains. One from below, one above. It's so interesting to think about how Exandria is a post-apocalyptic world that's been rebuilt. It's been destroyed, 2 times already? That night at dinner, Chet wants Ashton to leave and not come back. He shouldn't put others in danger, and what he did was really selfish and stupid. But when the barbarian turns but doesn't leave, Chet takes that as a sign that they're willing to work on things to make it better. While out in the Parchwood, Delilah starts talking to Laudna. The girl asks if love always is painful. Is it ever worth it? And the woman responds saying, always. When you find the strength to change our fortunes, the weak stew in their pain. We should hurt those who hurt us. Laudna then asks, is Ashton weak? And she says, Ashton is a child. And Laudna says she loves children. Maybe she should make him a doll. So she goes off to find her old hovel and builds a doll using a chipmunk skull and quartz to make her friend. She curls into a corner to sleep, the shadow of Delilah holding her. There's two types of people, those who get hurt and do nothing, and those who retaliate. Who are you? And Laudna says, she's Matilda. And Delilah says, Matilda's dead. You are something more. I think Delilah is making it pretty obvious. She wants that shard. The next morning, Fern returns and is ignoring Ashton and asks if they can go back home to the Feywild to give them some more time. She thinks having some space to think in summer would be good for her. Allura isn't stoked at the idea since they have no clue how much time is left, and eventually, using Find Person, the Hells reunite with our favorite ghoul girl, and she gives Ashton the doll she made, because it's for children, and she says that they should try to find happiness in their inner child. They wait in the library for Allura to prepare for their plane shift to the Feywild, and there's a small Ashton and Fern talk. It's incredibly awkward, with the words exchanged, thank you for saving me, and I don't think I saved you, and they respond with, we'll see. The group then go to the Feywild, to the Ligament Manor. Allura is actually familiar with the Fate Stitcher, horrified as they arrive to the being's place. But Fern gets excited to not only see her grandmother, but her parents as well. Apparently, Ollie had a vision of their hideout being attacked, so they buried it and ran here. FCG asks Maury if they can help with the scavenger hunt, and she's psyched about their group healing retreat. But when they do confide they're a little worried about time, they watch as raindrops slow around them, and she says, take all the time you need. Let me know how you're feeling about the group dynamic right now. It's definitely going to be a long road to recovery should they be able to mend things. Everything was just so crazy that last week. I forgot to mention that Ashton and Fern kissed. Wild. Oh, and by the way, Orem's here as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out my other recaps of Campaign 3 on my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there. Good day, my friends. Are you truly healed, or did you just change your